What's up guys, and welcome back to another EVE Online video. Today we are out in our wormhole in a glorious moon mining fleet. We've got the wormhole rolled up, which basically means at the moment no one can come in or out. And we've done that so that we can undock our nicer and less mobile mining vessels. Like I'm in a Hulk. And get a boosted moon mining fleet going because we had a moon pop today. So, but that's not actually why I'm making this video. But I thought now's a good opportunity to kind of do one of the things I've been meaning to do for a few days in the background whilst I can keep mining mining away. So what we're looking at today as the sort of next installment as my running a Wormhole Corporation series is looking at a bit of role management within the corporation. So granting roles, titles, and how that system functions and why we want to do it. Because I've got a couple I want to, or at least one, I guess, that I want to get assigned today, and we also need to have a think about how we want to expand that, so why not do it with you guys? So basically, what is role management and how does it function in game? Because if you guys don't have director access to your corporations, you won't see any of this stuff. It's hugely cumbersome, it's rubbish as a system, and is really old. So it's been around in the same form for a long time now, and it really isn't fit for purpose. So we kind of have to make do with what we've got. Hopefully one day it will get an overhaul, but today unfortunately isn't that day. I haven't got my blur on, have I? So I'm just going to turn blur on so that the fleet can chat about what they want to chat about. But there we go, blur's back on. So what have we got then in here? We go to corporation view, and the default look is the my corporation page, and you'll have the bulletins and projects and stuff, which we went through in the last video with the projects. But if you want to go through how to do title management and role management, we have our members list, which is a tab which contains all the information you need to know about your members, but it is pretty rubbish, and I'll quickly show you some of the limitations that I'm aware of and why we then have to do things the way we choose to do things. I will have to keep compressing because I'm in a Hulk and it mines very fast. So one thing I want to show you, our member list is a little bit too long. We are actually going through a purge of inactive players at the moment. We've sent out a variety of warnings, so our active player base are aware, and everyone's had to sign up to Alliance Auth. So that's been ongoing, but we are about to do a purge for all those that haven't signed up to Alliance Auth. So this list will thin out a bit. But here's a really good example for you. We have here Calicthor. He won't mind me calling him out. He is in our corporation because he's in our member list, and he is one of our directors. Okay. If I go to role management, we don't use this tool very much because it doesn't really work. We do everything through titles, apart from the director role. So you can see this director role in here. The director role basically gives you all the same access and permissions as the CEO, and so there goes my boosts. Not boosts, but compression. What was I going to say? Sorry. Yes, distracted. Shouldn't really be mining in the background. We don't really use this, so you can see everyone else doesn't have roles. And as I scroll down, we've got a couple of people in director roles. So this is our CEO's main alt. Here's our CEO, and here's another director. So we've got just the director role allocated, right? Here's me down here. But in this list, which should list all of our people, let's go find K-A-L, not there. Cal Ichthor in a director role doesn't exist in this list. And just to prove he is a director, Cal Ichthor carrying the director title in disaster area, which is my corporation. So he's not in this list, but he is in the member list. So massive flaw there. That's one of the reasons we don't use the role management tool. It's just not here. I mean, maybe he's on page 2, but that would be really bizarre. Why would you be on page 2? He's on page 2. What? So I think I've still not got compression, so that's my mining over for the time being because I'm full. So let's just sit here though. That's ridiculous. It's clearly alphabetical. I've been looking for him for ages. It's clearly alphabetical. Goes from A to Z. And then for whatever reason, there's a page 2 with just a few more people on A to Z. These aren't all new people, like Cal's been here for ages. How bizarre. But that's, yeah, that's why we don't use this list so much. And because also, another reason we don't like to use roles, the find member in role function, if any of you know how to use this properly, please tell me. But if I go role, director, I want to find everyone with a director role, execute query, no one. Oh, do I add criteria? Execute query. Okay. You can see I'm still learning this. So I'm taking on slightly more responsibility at the moment. I am in the acting CEO role. So traditionally, Hot Black has done all this stuff. Who doesn't come up in this list because he is the CEO. But I'm taking on more, so I am trying to learn this. So you're basically learning alongside me at the moment, which is of course fun for you. I know some of it, but not all of it, clearly. So that works. Okay, so you can find member and role that way, and we can do it with various other things. But we find the role management too cumbersome, and you end up with quite a lot of different elements to select, because you've got different ones in the station, you've got different ones for the wallet accesses, you've got different ones for what hangars people can access in specific locations, so the headquarters and other stations and so on. So it's all quite a lot of hassle to do it through role management, which is why we tend not to, and we do it through title management instead, where you can assign all the roles for people with specific title. So if you have the director title, you have the auditing ability, you have communications officer ability, and so on. And we could turn all these on. We normally would, to be honest. We've got a few titles we can keep running, but you know, everyone ends up with a title in our corporation. So once they've been around for a little bit, they get agent, which allows them to config equipment, allows them to operate the Starbase. Sorry, the what's the word? Citadel. Allows them to operate the Citadel. But there is a potential security risk there, so we are considering changing that. And there's a few other things, and then it's still super complicated. So you then have station services as another layer. So you know they have these abilities. So if someone wants to go and rent an office in an NPC station, it's only the director or our chief of security that can do that. So people can't just go and spend cash. Accounting, these are giving people access to particular wallets. The director title is a bit pointless because you get default access to all of this stuff as a director in the role management. And then annoyingly, hangar access has the different, you have headquarters, you have base stat, and you have other. So query and take capability associated with the different hangars. Headquarters is an NPC station for us, so you have to set the headquarters one, and then you also have to set base stat and other as well to make sure that people can take the relevant stuff from our stations in Wormhole and that kind of thing. So there's a lot to it. It's really complicated and annoying. Auditing, I don't even know what the auditing function's for. I'm going to have to go look at that soon. But then the other thing you can do is create medals and things and award decorations to people. So this one was originally created for example, Finder of J Sazata was originally created for the person that found specifically the wormhole we live in today. We did a months-long search to go and to find it, and the findee got the medal. But today we've started awarding it to the individuals that have contributed the most to scanning out the chain in Wormhole and that kind of stuff. So we have statistics in Pathfinder that allow us to see how much everyone contributes, and these individuals have gone way above everyone else in recent months, so they've been awarded the medals. So this is all the kind of stuff you can do in here. And now one of the questions, I guess, is why do it? Why promote someone, or why give someone a particular title? And we today, one of the things I want to do is create a new title for the mentor role, among some other things which I need to run by the rest of the director crew, but we are content we're going to set up a mentoring role. And the reason we want to do that is we're growing quite rapidly now. You can see from the fleet we've got running at the moment, there's a good number of active right now. We've grown rapidly, and we're continuing to grow. So it's not something we can't just manage it between the small director team anymore. We all have personal lives and things, which is weird, outside of Eve. So we need support if we're going to run an effective and successful corporation. So we want to introduce an additional level of hierarchy. I don't want to call it hierarchy. We'd quite like it to be a flat hierarchy if we could, but this is Eve, and hierarchical structures are thoroughly encouraged by the game. So we will call it a hierarchy. And we want to introduce sort of a middle management element to the whole thing. So we're starting that with a that's weird. Starting that with a mentoring role, to someone to be able to take over the responsibility of really bringing on newer players and newer corp mates, getting them settled in the wormhole, being available to answer any questions, take them over into different voice channels when a fleet's going on, just to sort of bring them up to speed on what's happening, all that kind of good stuff. We've got an individual that has been doing great work for that already, and now we want to be able to empower them to continue doing it, have the responsibility, reward them for what they've been doing with a title, and sort of really enable them to continue and push on. We've spoken to them; they're happy to do it. So it's a way of rewarding, for sure, but it's also somewhat selfishly a way of relinquishing some of the workload at the moment, which is great. So we've got some unused roles in here at the moment, but I am going to introduce a mentor. I'll probably call it something more inventive than mentor, just so that it's kind of fun for others, right? So we've got some relatively boring ones, but then manufacturing boss man is currently not in use, but would be for our head of industry, member of ICE. This one is because this is for our fleet, our FCs, our fleet commanders. You you do want to be a little bit careful with some of your titles and role management and things, because you know, if someone just has the title Fleet Commander when they're running a PvP fleet, then of course your opponents are gonna just immediately try and volley them off the field and watch the fleet go into complete disarray afterwards. So we've gone for a slightly different naming convention than just Fleet Commander or FC to try and avoid that happening, or reduce the chances of that happening, of course. So we're going to introduce the mentor role to award Acreage. I'll call him out because he deserves the recognition for what he's doing so far. So Acreage, who's part of our North American contingent, so being able to spread some of the management responsibility and things over to North America will be a big help. One of our FCs is over there, but he's currently on his own in terms of a leadership role, so this should be able to support him with that. Now, what is a mentor going to need? We could potentially think about wallet access. I could partition a specific wallet for them so that they've got the freedom to support any new members with ships or something. So you know, if we have new members come in and they need to get up and running, they could be provided with huffing ventures or mining barges for a fleet like this or something. So I could see wallet access being useful, and so that would be an accountant role in here. But then you have to go and check what the accountant can do, because it's possible the accountant can see all wallets, and we would only want a specific partition. So let's have a quick look. Yes. Role management, accounting. Yeah, see, it's just super confusing, all this stuff. Let's go back to titles. And we've got accounting divisional, here you go. And so instead of giving them the accounting role, I would go with accounting divisional and then give the mentor one of these specific wallet accesses, which are again another bug with the role management screen, title management screen, is it doesn't list what the wallet divisions are. There's definitely what this is, because there are 7 wallet divisions. This first one is master, but then the others are all not, so we'll have to... I probably should just stop mining, to be honest, because I'm not doing a very good job of it in the background here. But so now let's have a quick look at the corporation wallet. You can have a quick look at how poor we are, but we've got change active division. These are the orders of the division. So master, industry, mining, as you go across, master, industry, mining, operation, logistics, security, directors. Don't really know why we're a directors wallet, but so I could, you know, we could give them access to a wallet, make a division specifically for the funding of new bros, for example, and then the way you would then just tick this box in here. So mentor might need access to this wallet and save changes, and then the mentor would be able to access just that specific corporation wallet. I will think about that in more detail and maybe set a wallet up specifically for it. What else might be a good idea for them? Brand manager, I have no idea what brand manager does. Communications officer, it's been given by default. That was blank. No, it wasn't. Communication officer could be a good idea. That would allow... What does it even... There's no... It doesn't tell you what anything does. There's no, like, help. But communication officer could be useful. Config equipment, probably not needed. Contract manager, probably not needed. See, so there's not a tremendous amount that a mentor would need. Maybe personnel manager, maybe project manager with the new function there of project manager, which again would require wallet access. But that could be useful as a way to set up projects for newer players. Definitely that I can see those two going hand in hand. Same for skill plan manager as well. So these you can create corporation skill plans. So if I go to my skill window, there should be corporation plans. And again, if you've got the ability, the rights to do this, you can create a new plan for the corporation for everyone, and they can just come in here and do it. That could be really useful for the mentor. So I am going to turn that on for sure, because there's no reason why they couldn't think up some support us in creating some skill plans for the newer members. Absolutely. These would be unnecessary because these are about accessing the fuel bays of POSs and things, so no need for that. As mentioned about the accounting, station services, again, nothing really required here, I would say. Factory manager probably not needed. Yeah, none of those particularly needed for a mentor. That all's gone. I'm just going to stop mining. I'm just going to sit here. That's station services. We've talked about accounting. Now hangar access is useful for them, I reckon. So we've got all these hangars listed at the top. Recruit station, everyone in our corporation, once they have the rank of recruit or above, gets access to the recruit station, but then it's then staggered going through, with executives hangout only being directors and above, and so on. But so, you know, it's possible. I think probably giving them access to corporate parking, would be a good idea, because that's where we put some fit ships ready to hand out in the event that they are needed, and also some hulls and things that people can hand out if they've got the relevant rights. So you see our fleet commanders take access from corporate parking. The fleet commanders actually have quite a lot of access, which is a good thing. Yeah, manufacturing boss man doesn't exist, but has a lot of access as well. So yeah, I'm going to give mentor can have query and take for corporate parking. And do they need query access to other elements? Again, probably not for now, but we will think about it. I do want to flesh that out a little bit more. As mentioned, I thought I'd just record this kind of opportunistically, just kind of go through my thinking, and I will put more thought into this as we go on. And worth mentioning, you know, we're not just setting up a mentor role. We're going to have a couple of others. We've got this DSO middle management title already, which we would like to assign to a few people, and Acreage could well be one of them. We want to get mentor in there now because we want new members to recognise that Acreage is someone they can talk to, someone they can go to. Our whole corporation is full of all these people, and everyone is willing to help, which is awesome. But Acreage is particularly forthcoming in all of this support, and so has said he is on board with having his being a point of contact for our newer members. So that's why we're creating the mentor role. As mentioned, we'll probably reward Acreage with middle management as well, because doing a great job. Maybe another member of the North American team as well, for sure. And then we should have a pretty good layer in there to help manage, because our FCs will have middle management title as well. So there'll be 4 or 5 members in that role, which would be great. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if I've done a particularly good job of demonstrating what's possible with this. Just demonstrated that I don't really know how it works, and that it's really quite complicated and not fit for purpose, honestly. Like, it's so cumbersome, because, you know, I've got like we've said, the mentor So okay, let's finish off hangar access for the mentor. So hangar access in headquarters, the mentor now has query and take. Now we have to go container access as well. We want them to be able to take from containers as well. So let's give them take from recruit station, and they can also take from, yeah, we'll do that. But that's all headquarters. So then you have to go hangar access base stat, and the base stat is base stat where? I've got no idea what base stat means. But now we need to populate these, and we'll go again with container access. Take, and we'll go down to hangar access other, which is what our stations in the wormhole actually function off. So again, mentor, recruit station, corporate parking, and container access. Take. So like ridiculously cumbersome. That's just for hangar. That's just for what hangars to give them. Like bizarre. And then you have to hit save, otherwise that doesn't take effect. So now we have this mentor role, and what we can then do, role management, we can find acreage, which is fortunate that he's on page 1. Actually it's title management, sorry. General. No, now I'm confused again. How do I keep confusing myself? Role management. Titles. There we go. Sorry. Such a ridiculous system. Fortunately, acreage is on page 1. And so we will give him now mentor, which is difficult to read because now it's at the top pointing up in the other direction. We'll give acreage mentor, and then when we're ready we'll save that and he will get it. There's a couple other things we will do as well in the coming days. We will move a bunch of people from agent, which is our sort of standard position. We have recruit, which are newer members, and then once they've, I actually can't remember the duration, but once they've been in the corporation for a certain period of time, they move to agent, which gives them that little bit of extra recognition for they are now, you know, like proper part of the corporation. And then we also have then senior agent, who are members of the corporation that have been part of it for over a year, I believe. And so there's not actually any additional access yet, but we might use the senior agent role title to introduce a little bit of that to reward people for their long service. But we need to go through and update it so that people that have been in long enough and should have it become it. Because, so for example, Gray, when did Gray Merck join? He's one of our FCs, 8 months, so maybe not Gray yet. I mean, Ilu, he's a director, so he doesn't need it, I suppose. But he's been here a long time and doesn't have senior agent. So we need to go through and tidy all this up, which will happen in the background, but it's such a pain. And also, I don't think, so this is fun as well, we'll assign this title now. I'll click Save Changes. And so acreage is now a mentor, and we can check it. It is immediate. There he is, agent, mentor. Ignore that title, that's a fun one. Doesn't actually give him anything. It's just power over Grey. We will run out of titles soon, probably, and need to do something with that one, but we'll see. He is now a mentor, but I don't believe he gets any sort of notification at all. So we'll put an announcement out on Discord, but I'll let him know beforehand. But there's no notification, so it will just be when he docks up in a few minutes. If he's paying attention, he will see that he now doesn't have big red no entry signs on the corporate parking hangar, and he can do stuff in corporate parking. Yeah, so that's, yeah, not sure. that's something I think could be improved as well. Um, and what I actually do intend to do now that we've given him the role and it will be official is then talk to Ekrich about what he believes he might need for it, and see if he thinks he would like wallet access, that kind of thing, um, and yeah, and what is necessary for him to complete the job, and then see what we can do to empower him in that role. And we also want to find an EU, so that's North American mentor. We do want to find an EU mentor as well. Um, Unfortunately, the person who fills that role, the people who fill that role, is not unfortunate, I guess, have already kind of been rewarded. So Ailu, who's one of the directors, does a fantastic job of it already. And then our FCs, Gray and Senilla, also do a great job of it already. So it might be unnecessary to have a specific person highlighted as a mentor, but we do still have individuals that we want to recognise and reward for what they're doing. So we could go down that route with the mentor role. Yeah, so I'll wrap up here because I've just noticed we've gone over 30 minutes, and as always, I've rambled. Probably not been the most informative thing for you, but I wanted to just talk through my thought process, the kind of what we are thinking about and why we do this kind of thing, and then what sort of a shit show the role management and member list stuff is in the corporation. And please, 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 CCP, do something about it and update it, because it's a nightmare. So if you're a member of a corporation and you wonder why things aren't getting done in the background and you've got the wrong access rights and all that kind of stuff, it's because this is a problem. And it's a nightmare for your leadership team to go through and update everyone's individual rights all the time. Yeah. So anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching. That's episode 3. We will push on and find whatever episode 4 is going to be. So if you enjoyed, subscribe, please, give a like, and I will see you all in the next one. Cheers.